Stored Republic via GCR, update as of October 9, 2023. Judy note, on Saturday 7th of October. As the world faced World War III with deep state attacks on Israel, maybe, plus a Marine Corps base in Albany and a failed attempt to rescue deep state prisoners headed to Gitmo. And while the National Guard was activated in up to 360 cities across the U.S. due to Antifa and BLM terrorists infecting the country, it was rumored that on Monday 9th of October the U.S. legislature was to nominate and vote on Trump to be Speaker of the House. It was also rumored that on Wednesday 11th of October, the Supreme Court would make an announcement on the Brunson case about massive voter fraud in the 2020 election. If they ruled in favor of Brunson, Biden and Harris would immediately be removed from office and as Speaker of the House, Trump would be made president, as if he weren't already. On Monday 9th of October the House was expected to vote in Donald Trump as Speaker of the House. The Brunson case on election fraud before the Supreme Court gives the Supreme Court the power to take out Biden and Harris from their positions. With the Speaker of the House next in line to be president, we could very well see Trump as president in the next few days, Lloyd Brunson. The Brunson brothers' announcement marks the return of Donald Trump and the impeachment of Joe Biden, though it could potentially ignite uprisings. The military was reportedly active in 300 to 360 problematic cities to ensure calm and order during this crucial time. Many of these areas, especially blue states, have a pronounced Antifa/BLM presence. Black Monday 9th of October incoming. Israel and Hamas go to war just as the US dollar was about to get dropped. Q said, Israel would be lest. Sunday 8th of October. As the world debated Hamas' surprise attack on Israel, another unprecedented assault occurred closer to home Saturday, with Black Hats launching a shocking attack on a White Hat installation in Georgia. As rockets fell on Israel, questioning the efficacy of its Iron Dome, scores of federal agents, supported by Biden loyalists from the California Army National Guard, stormed the gates at Marine Corps Logistics Base Albany, a non-combat post whose mission is to repair and rebuild ground combat and combat support equipment. It is home to approximately 600 Marines and 2,000 part-time civilian contractors, most of whom live on the economy. Real Raw News has learned the base had a secondary function, housing certain deep state prisoners awaiting transportation to Guantanamo Bay. Marine Corps Base Massacre. Israel is attacked exactly 9 years and 11 months after a South Park episode was released. 911 was a Zionist inside job. Is a military mass notification and military emergency alert systems. EBS, blackout, market crash, Starlink ready. I think we are now here at the tipping point. Red October flip the switch. Tucker Carlson, you have less than 48 hours. Yellowstone shut down, 340% risk of eruption. State Department breached by Chinese hackers. New York, U.S. Patent US 8967029B1. Toxic mosquito aerial release system. Now recently New York City is closing down. This isn't a conspiracy theory, they're on loudspeaker. The city is applying pesticide to reduce the spread of West Nile virus. Bill Gates in action. We are under attack. Scotland, major biblical flooding happening all over Scotland the same time Israel declares war. We are saving Israel for last. Very specific reason not mentioned a single time. A global currency reset. Friday 6th of October. Marks, a lot of my sources feel that Monday 9th of October is our day, a lot of them, actually they think our day is before that and Monday is when we start going to the bank. They are all expecting big things this weekend. More chatter on the Iraqi side of things with great expectations for the weekend. Most are looking late Saturday/early Sunday for something from Iraq. Some type of announcement. Yesterday a number of redemption staff told me they are on standby specifically for currency exchanges. Iraq may go on Saturday. Probably what we would see our call centers working over the weekend to make our appointments, and appointments starting on Monday, that the most likely scenario. Friday 6th of October TNT call, the whole world will see the RV by Sunday, 8th of October. Central Bank of Iraq and Reuters announced, next Sunday, 8th of October, will be a special day in all Iraqi banks, which could witness unprecedented overcrowding and crowding at cash withdrawal windows. Iraqis were told in mosques, a new Iraq will begin by Sunday, 8th of October. Saturday 7th of October. Frank 26 RV update. Sadani went and told all the contractors he signed with, they can come into Iraq without any restrictions. That's article VI. The RV was expected to be announced in sovereign Iraq on Sunday 8 October, with the new rate becoming international on Monday 9 October. Sunday 8 October. Texas Snake banker indicated he was expecting notification just any time this coming week. Unfortunately, he admitted that has been stated by those above him before as well. On Tuesday, October, for 12 hours U.S. Treasury representatives entered codes at U.S. redemption centers for each nation's currency. Pings came back that the code was valid, meaning the redemption center could receive currency from each nation in exchange for the U.S. note. In the last 24 hours, Tier 4A had started preparing and paying Tier 4 groups. On Wednesday 4 October, Iraq was welcomed to the World Trade Organization with a fully reinstated Iraqi dinar international traded currency. Thursday 5 October, Wolverine Shelton said on his call that the 10 days of darkness and 12 days of disclosures would start after an event, EBS test, on Wednesday 4 October. On Thursday 6 October, I got a call. Everything has really begun. Isaac has spoken to someone and he says it looks like it's going to happen. All the leaders of the Tier 1 platform have been funded and by next week all members will be paid and it will be fast. Thursday 5 October, Tony said he has a 2-hour window tonight, then laughed, and said he should have said the next 24 hours. Not every country is going at the same time. It's their own choice. The rate won't be on the Forex until the end of the weekend. Sounds like they'll get their 72 hours of joy. Monday is a holiday, so that would be a good time for us to go. Iraqi government salaries were being paid a month in advance effective Wednesday 4 October. Thursday 5 October, Bruce, bondholders Tier 3 will get notification of liquidity over the weekend. Tier 4B, us, the Internet Group, will be notified either Saturday 7 October or Monday afternoon 8 October and will begin appointments either Mon. 8 October or Tuesday, 9 October. The U.S. note was fully in the system and available at the bank free. 6 October or Monday 8 October, by Tuesday, 10 October the bulk of redemption appointments and exchanges were expected to be done. Wednesday 11 October, was another possible EBS date, along with the removal of Biden, and that would kick off a 4-month military action. The IMF and World Bank will hold their last annual meeting on Sunday 15 October. Starting in the 4th week of October, restitution and recreational allowance will be paid out. The amount of monies paid back will be based on federal taxes paid since 1940s, interest on mortgages, bank loans, car loans and credit card interest, along with interest earned on those monies over the years. Those 60 and older will be paid in 3 equal monthly payments for October, November and December. Those 50 to 60 will get payments over the next 12 months and those younger will be paid out over 15 years, though they have to be employed in order to qualify. Starting in October and continuing for 3 months, Social Security benefits will be significantly higher, topping out at $5,200. In January, regular benefits will continue, though still be a lot higher. The end of October, Sidney Powell has a date with the Supreme Court to present evidence on 2020 election fraud. Wednesday 1 November. Was the goal to have currency exchanges and ZIM bond redemptions completed. The Rodriguez Trust will administer universal basic income for citizens of all GCR-compliant countries. The amount per individual or family will depend on the status, needs, employment level, and age of the person/family, and will work to encourage people to work if they can. He said we need to help our friends and family understand that this will happen in the next 3 to 6 months. Starting January 1, 2024, the fiat US dollar will be worthless. All currencies across the globe will be on par 1-to-1 with each other. Social Security benefits will be much higher in the SSR&R. Payments start on a monthly basis. B. Global financial crisis, Sunday 8 October. Warning. Warren Buffett, a storm is brewing in real estate market, happening now, own nothing, be happy. Sunday 8 October. In 1 month, $17.4 billion in U.S. Treasuries were dumped by BRICS nations China, Brazil, and Saudi Arabia. The sell-off was impossible to ignore. Since peaking about a decade ago, China has dumped nearly $500 billion in U.S. Treasuries. The sell-off in bond markets and the rapid rise in Treasury yields have unleashed financial chaos in recent days and weeks. Boom. $17.4 billion U.S. Treasuries dumped. The BRICS nations setting the stage for financial anarchy. On Friday, a better-than-expected jobs report added fuel to the fire, with the 10-year yield hitting a high of 4.85% while the 30-year yield topped 5%. 5 months before his assassination, President John F. Kennedy issued this executive order that would give the American currency back to the people by printing money based on a silver standard, taking away the power of the Federal Reserve banking cartel. Many argue this is the reason that JFK was assassinated. See Sunday 8th of October. Bombshell. Martial law unleashed, EBS alerts urgent broadcast and how redemption centers might be our only hope. Ethan White, Bombshell. Martial law unleashed, EBS alerts urgent broadcast and how redemption centers might be our only hope. Deep state arrests. California alone has witnessed up to 8,000 arrests, with over 3,000 in the Northeast U.S., particularly concentrated in the New England area. Rumors suggest that the populace might be urged to stay indoors for their safety, especially during disclosures, while the final arrests take place. However, a resilient and awakened citizenry, now more than ever, won't be silenced or confined. The Emergency Broadcast System, EBS, is on the horizon, and when it hits, it will be swift, silent, and shocking. Like a ghostly shadow, everything familiar will fade into obscurity. Just like the eerie silence of 2020, we'll be asked to remain rooted, perhaps for days, maybe weeks. The military, it seems, has a broader purpose. As the last of the so-called Satanists face arrest and are sent to Gitmo, the military is also gearing up to distribute food, especially to the elderly. This is not just about control but also about care. There's chatter about the military potentially overseeing the nation until fresh elections are held, precisely 120 days post the GCR announcement. The focus should shift towards electing individuals with business acumen, particularly those who can rejuvenate local businesses, and more importantly, food-growing enterprises. The bustling stock market. Halted. The digital world you're so intricately linked to. Gone. And trust me, when the EBS alert vibrates your cell phone, echoing the chilling announcement, you'll know it's begun. These messages, sourced from the Starlink, are there to stay. Deleting them. Forget about it. They're imprinted, lasting reminders of the changing times. Essentials first, stock up on clean drinking water. Ensure there's enough food, not just for you, but for your pets too. Medicines. Get them in advance. Remember, the digital world is on a hiatus, so medical records are inaccessible. Cash is king. In a world where digital transactions become obsolete, cash will be your savior. ATMs might be out of service, and swiping those cards at gas pumps. Dream on. Mental fortitude. When the shock hits, it's vital to keep your wits about you. Before you extend your hand to others, ensure you're mentally fortified. Some might be in a state of shock, unable to respond. In such cases, a breath of fresh air, a gentle walk, might help. Your TV, phone, and internet will spring back to life, unveiling a spectacle titled Disclosures. Rumor has it, it might even grace the big screens. But this isn't your typical Netflix binge. It's a 24/7, 8-hour block broadcast, lasting anywhere between 3 to 10 days. The content. Oh, it's the raw, unfiltered truth of events, spanning military tribunals and even, hold your breath, public executions. Areas drenched in corruption, like Los Angeles and New York, might experience extended viewing periods. But when the switch is flipped back, expect a metamorphosis. A world pulsating with positive energy, devoid of evil's grasp. The Internet. Transformed. Banking systems. Revolutionized. This, dear readers, is the dawn of an era of transparency and abundance. A veritable paradise on earth. However, as the layers peel back, revealing covert operations, prepare to be flabbergasted. The faces you recognize might just be elaborate masquerades, Hollywood-grade masks, CGI marvels, and eerily realistic body doubles. Ever watched The Truman Show? Our reality might not be far off, with a scripted drama unfolding since 2015, or perhaps even earlier. In this roller coaster of revelations, identities will be muddled. The presumed deceased might be breathing amongst us, under the protection of the Witness Protection Program. Surprisingly, over 900 of them. And those you vilified. They might be mere actors, playing their part in this grand cinematic universe. In conclusion, the world is on the brink of a seismic shift. The EBS and subsequent disclosures promise to be the catalysts. Whether you're thrilled or terrified by these prospects, one thing is certain: life, as we know it, is about to be irrevocably altered. Prepare, stay vigilant, and remember, every cloud has a silver lining. Redemption Centers. Redemption Centers represent a transformative process to the Quantum Financial Access Card. This card is the gateway to claiming our GCR, on a global scale, and NISRA, for the U.S., funds. And guess what? These funds have already been deposited, awaiting our claim. Wells Fargo, a banking giant you're undoubtedly familiar with, plays a pivotal role in this new age financial paradigm. This institution has mirrored every bank account onto the Quantum Financial System, QFS. Your hard-earned money, your retirement nest eggs, your 401ks, they're all securely mirrored on the QFS. Brokerage platforms remain outside this mirroring process. Transitioning into the Quantum Financial System, QFS, isn't just about money, it's a spiritual journey. Entering this realm demands purity of heart. It necessitates forgiveness and unconditional love. As we prepare to embrace this financial metamorphosis, it's crucial to cleanse our souls and be ready to love unconditionally. ZIM holders, especially those with humanitarian interests, will be directed to redemption centers based on their zip codes. Nomads, those who live life on the move, should be prepared to declare their mobile status. The redemption centers operate on a rigorous schedule, functioning continuously for 15 days, irrespective of demographics. However, not all centers will have to remain open for the entire duration. The primary currencies exchanged here include ZIM, dinar, dong, and the dollar. These hold significance due to their substantial gold backing. Not all bonds can be exchanged at these centers. ZIM bonds can. For those national currency bonds to be eligible, they would have needed to be in an SKR for a solid 5 years. No shortcuts here. The bond payout process is a marathon, not a sprint, spanning an estimated 3 years. But this gradual transition ensures stability and sustainability. Early birds in this game might reap richer rewards. The value of bonds is further amplified as they're backed by solid gold. Bondholders possessing container loads will be at the front of the queue. To put it plainly, a holder with 20 pallets of bonds will precede one with only 3 pallets. The bond payouts could span up to 25 years, necessitating NDAs, non-disclosure agreements, for the same duration. The reason? Distributing vast amounts in one go could deplete funds meant for the global populace. America, with its unique financial landscape, enjoys certain privileges that other nations might miss out on. The rates of ZIM and other foreign currencies are in a constant flux. And while many have been informed that a substantial 80% of funds for humanitarian projects will be extracted from ZIMs, the true nature of this process remains shrouded in mystery. Ears toward republics. The Wednesday 4th of October. EBS broadcast was the first of an expected 6 presidential messages soon to come out. A new 5,000 plus army of Starlink satellites was already in place to take over mainstream media satellites. On this Starlink system, these will broadcast the global alliance's takedown of the cabal, showing arrests and tribunals of global elites charged with crimes against humanity. The documentaries have been made in 55 languages and 600 dialects and will be shown on all channels on the planet. Saturday 7th of October. Alex Collier audio on bearded_patriot USA Telegram. U.S. warships are currently docking in cities all across Alaska. They are coming ashore to assist the Alaskan military, Australian military, and crushing the deep state. Australia help has arrived. Everything is being triggered for the same time. There is a synchronistic movement of all the white hats taking down the deep state. It's all being synchronized. The white hats are all talking, communicating, to each other. I want you to know that we are hours if not days away from this happening or occurring, and when it happens, it's going to be quick, lightning quick. It is rumored that the Marines are in the process of arresting traitors in the military. I'm hoping this is true, because there are some traitors in the military. They have taken bribes and favors and built offshore accounts, with ridiculous amounts of money that has all been put in, all based in the Federal Reserve note. They need to go down, they literally need to go down. Canada, those of you up in Canada, the same thing applies. Your military is waiting for the go, all your military is waiting to go. Things have been put into place, there are American troops up there as well. And when this is all over, Canada will become a protector of the United States, the Republic of the United States. Australia will also become a protector of the Republic of the United States. The military is operating under military law in order to protect and defend the citizenry of each of those countries. It is in fact their obligation to protect the people and the borders of those countries. This is going to be something that is going to be worldwide. It's imminent, folks, it's happening. Ken and Barbie vs. Goliath IRS Sunday 8th of October. Cromars continues to suffer court injustices. For over 5 years Barbie and Ken Cromar have been battling for our right of freedom from the privately owned U.S. Incorporated's Goliath IRS that has stolen our U.S. taxpayer dollars for their own use since 1913. Even after the Cromars won their case in a federal tax court that ruled they owed no monies to the IRS, a 27-man SWAT took away their fully paid-for home and threw away all their possessions including expensive camera equipment Ken used to make a living. They have now incarcerated Ken in the Utah Weber County Jail where federal prosecutor Chris Angelos was to provide Ken with discovery as of September 19, 2023, which has not been done, leaving Angelos potential violation of various federal statutes, including but not limited to Title 18 Seconds 241, Conspiracy to Deny Rights, Title 18 Seconds 242, Denial of Constitutional Rights under the Color of Law, plus misprision of a felony. There appeared to be a systematic and prejudicial effort to deny Cromar his right to due process in order to assure an outcome that would find him guilty of a fabricated crime he did not commit. Documented fraud in former Utah movie producer indictment leads to another DOJ criminal complaint/referral. The militarized privately owned IRS was using maritime law, where U.S. citizens have no standing, not constitutional law, to make an example of the Cromars. This could happen to anyone, and very like has to many in the past. It's time we stand behind the Cromars and fight for our freedoms. Ken's mailing address: he can only receive white postcards. Paul Kenneth Cromar, number 655,950 Weber County Jail, P.O. Box 14000, Ogden, Utah 84412. K. The Real News for Sunday 8th of October. 2023, Ukraine, billionaire ex-Zelensky sponsor detained for money laundering. Sunday 8th of October, Q Trust the Plan Operation a Total Success Population Disengaged Critical Intel Alert, Derek Johnson. South Africa can be classified as a cabal state. It's the devil's playground literally. 1920s medbed, DEFCON nuclear readiness, SG and on. This is what human trafficking looks like. New major arrests coming October 8, 2023. Great Q video. Hunter Biden emails reveals Wikipedia is run by the CIA. September 8, 2023. Dr. Jan Halper, the Navy is doing tribunals on ships around the globe. People are being ferried to Gitmo. Special Forces unalive Obama. Friday 6th of October. Hang him. Admiral Stevens says of corrupt Army Major David Dunbar, but without tribunal. Special Forces unalive Obama clone. New SG and on. White Hat update on the military, civilian alliance, Space Force, 10-4 Delta. Q News Patriot, 5 Grandma. Sunday 8th of October. Suij KM Israel/Starlink is this, scared face, Gitmo Trump Biden Trudeau. McCarthy and Biden exit, Trump enters center stage for the final act, deep state spy caught at Trump Vegas hotel. Major decode situation update. Dave, life-changing info, SG and non. The veteran AFU soldiers do not go to the front lines, but they send the mobilized men there. At the same time, all the UCRO warriors are on drugs. And that's not TV propaganda either, it's reality. In battle you fire a magazine at the enemy, you realize, that's it, he must fall down and not get up again, but he acts against all logic. When you capture him, you realize he's been pumped full of an incredible dose of drugs, so he can't feel anything, he's a robot. Before that, I served on the border with Afghanistan. And as part of my job, I have never experienced anything like that in my 20 years of service. When I was retreating, the POWs asked me, "Don't send us back, don't exchange us." Everyone in Ukraine knows about the dirty organ trafficking business in which the EU is also involved. They don't want that to come out. Rabbi Finkelstein, we eat the children of our enemies. Zionists are pure evil Khazarian Satanists. And Sunday 8th of October. Just so we're clear. Obama is controlling Biden, Pelosi was controlling McCarthy, DOJ is controlling Trump's indictments, FBI is controlling big tech censorship, Zelensky is controlling foreign aid, Big Pharma is controlling media, and BlackRock is controlling all the above. Saturday 7th of October. Israel-Hamas Battle of Armageddon Sunday 8th of October. Operation Wag the Dog. These Palestinian surprise attacks against Israel are not what the CIA's Mockingbird media is reporting. The events happening in Israel are not happening in real time. They happened a while back. We are saving Israel for last. It has now begun. Phil Godlewski 3.0. Sunday 8th of October. Russia calls for civil war in America following Israel TikTok army disaster, Sorka Fall. On August 15, 1851 the Illuminati put out a plan to instigate 3 world wars. The third one was between the political Zionists and leaders of the Islamic world. It would be conducted so that the Zionists and Islam destroyed each other. All nations, especially important countries like Turkey, will be drawn into this World War III. Their NWO and reset comes after the war. It starts in the Middle East, but will spread everywhere else. Israel at war. Saturday 7th of October. Israel and Arab Hamas at war. Israel is last. Iran's parliament is chanting death to Israel. Death to America. As their terror cells massacre Israeli women and children. This is the regime that Joe Biden just gave $6 billion and a pathway to nuclear weapons to. The money enabled Iran to sponsor Hamas, which launched a major terrorist attack against Israel on Saturday 7th of October. Trump said, sadly, American taxpayer dollars help fund these attacks. Spokesperson of Izzat and al-Qassam brigades, Abu Ubaidah, we thank the Islamic Republic of Iran who provided us with weapons, money and other equipment. He gave us missiles to destroy Zionist fortresses, and helped us with standard anti-tank missiles. If you translate this, he says, thank you Joe, you really helped them. War is needed to prevent the world from ditching the dollar and going to gold-backed currencies. In case you were wondering, Rubik's Cube on Telegram. As we are witnessing the fall of Israel, before our very eyes, we all have heard that Israel was saved for last. We also know that many pedophiles find refuge in Israel, whether they be Epstein/Maxwell, sports/Hollyweirdos, etc. And the supposed $6 billion the US gave to Iran recently, is true in fact, being used by Hamas, all through the White Hats, to take the last bit of filth. Think about it, nothing is a coincidence. White Hats seem to have been able to disable the Iron Dome at the right time, and now that $6 billion is used by Iran's proxy fighter, Hamas backed by the White Hats. I don't know, this is my Special Forces mind at work here, Casper, Revival of America podcasts. Save Israel for last is because the adrenochrome labs in the DUMBs under Israel are 10x worse than what was discovered in Ukraine. Coupled with the fact that there is a portal there allowing the demonic realm entry. Please don't kill the messenger. Take only what resonates or spend hundreds of hours as I do/have to uncover this information. Putin has no problem speaking about these things publicly. A high-ranking Israel Defense Forces, IDF, commander said U.S. weapons left in Afghanistan by the Biden administration were found in the hands of Palestinian groups active in the Gaza Strip. The chaos that erupted after the #US scramble to evacuate Afghanistan is ordered by #Biden, and the significant amount of weapons and equipment left behind there has now been used to attack Israel, a close ally of the #USA from both the North and Gaza Strip. Iran admits they gave safe passage to the Taliban who brought the weaponry and is funding the war. Story still developing. Once we squeeze all we can out of the United States, it can dry up and blow away. Benjamin Netanyahu, 2002. Benjamin Netanyahu warns people to leave Gaza as he vows to reduce parts of the territory into rubble. Israel is also preparing to stop supplying electricity, fuel and goods to Gaza, according to Mr. Netanyahu's office. Battle of Armageddon. Biden gave $6 billion to Iran and suddenly Hamas launches massive terrorist attack into Israel. Israeli Broadcasting Authority, armed men infiltrated Israel from the air, land and sea. Official, military update, Jocko. False flag attacks orchestrated by Mossad have started an all-out war between Israel and Palestine. The goal is to create Greater Israel. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu, citizens of Israel, we are at war. Not an operation, not an escalation, at war. Hamas will pay an unprecedented price. Hamas has now launched a military operation against Israel. Full-scale war is imminent. Hamas announced the beginning of a great revolution and called on Arabs living in and around Israel to join it. Al Jazeera reports that the Israeli army has lost control of one of its bases on the border with the Gaza Strip, on video. What are their recent positions? Saudi put up Palestine flag, broke Israel peace deal. Turkey, flipping on US/NATO in Syria. Iran, always against Israel. Iran and Saudi peace deals. Israel will officially declare the start of war at 1300 hours at a cabinet meeting according to Israeli media. The Israeli Ministry of Defense announced a massive call-up of reservists. Hamas has attacked Israel funded by Iran. $6 billion they received from America, thanks Biden. Israel has attacked Gaza with jet planes and bombs they received from America. The war machine in perfect balance. Defense contractors always stay fat and happy when bombs are dropped, no matter from who on what. At least 150 missiles fired towards Tel Aviv, Ashkelon, and Ashdod. The United States is ready to provide Israel with intercontinental ballistic missiles. CNN. The head of the Hamas Politburo said that the battle with Israel is the beginning of the liberation of Palestinian lands and people. Jordan, statement, America stands with Israel. Israel closes its border with Jordan. The Great Babylon is falling, happening before our very eyes. What does US and Israel have in common? The fall of Babylon. Breaking, the Taliban asks Iran for passage across country to assist Hamas in annihilation of Israel, after Joe Biden armed Taliban with $80 billion in US weapons and supplies. The Gateway Pundit, by Jim Hoft, Sunday 8 October. Hal Turner, Ukraine sold weapons to Hamas, used against Israel. Fake news via the mainstream media. Bill Gates donated $319 million to media organizations over the years. Soros funneled $131 million to 253 media organizations in 4 years. Bezos bought The Washington Post. Sunday 8 October. Nizar/Jazar Award, 07, won a Savin and Charlie Ward. Nizar and Jazara 2 plans, one true one false. The cabal put out a version of Nizar/Jazara that was designed to launder money back to them. The National Economic Stabilization and Reformation Act is the good one. The National Economic Security and Recovery Act is the bad one that they created to deceive us. The good Nizar, 1, forgets all credit card, mortgage, student loan and bank debt due to illegal banking. 2, dissolves the Federal Reserve, IRS and taxes. 3, creates a flat tax of 17% on all new non-essential items. 4, increases benefits for the elderly. 5, returns to constitutional law. 6, representational elections within the law. 7, election oversight. 8, Federal Reserve dissolved. 9, new currencies. USN instead of the US dollar. Euro will disappear and countries will go back to using their own currencies. Sterling silver instead of the British pound. 10. Joe Biden is president of the U.S. corporation, which went bankrupt in 2018. Since March 2021, the U.S. military has recognized Donald Trump not as the president, but as the commander-in-chief of the Constitution, not the U.S. corporation. 206 countries signed into the Good Nizar in 2018. The cabal wanted to bring in Bitcoin to Nizar. The RV actually started on September 24, 2023, when the pound, the euro and the US dollar, USN, came to parity with each other. BRICS countries, United Kingdom and the USN, have gold-backed currencies and can trade against each other. On Saturday 7 October, a number of patriots were summoned to Mar-a-Lago. On Sunday 8 October, Dan Scavino said, "It is about to go down. All things has been filmed in advance. All things have been completed. They are cleaning up and countries are building while US has yet to be dismantled. These are footages that have been saved to show the sheeple's preparation for the scare event." Think logic. How are BRICS able to do what they are able to do? How are they able to start building? How is Iraq able to go sovereign and do the RV, if all of this is happening? How is Kingdom of Canada able to be sovereign with Trudeau in office? How is Biden able to do the things he's doing? Who's in full control of the media? While all these countries are building behind the scenes, US has to be destroyed for the world to see. So for those that are still questioning or on the fence about things happening, you have to stop bouncing back and forth to 3D and 5D. We are watching a trailer/previews for the upcoming blockbuster feature film EBS, Popcorn. What confuses people is that you have to stop watching MSN and then trying to piece it together with the rebuilding of Earth 2.0. It gets cluttered. Stay in one lane all the way through. These are previews playing out for the sheeples. Sunday 8 October. Capped Kyle Patriots in regard to Q's Israel's last post, We knew there would likely be a World War III scare event scenario kicking off the intro to the public transition to what has to change not only in America, but worldwide, that conditions have become so unsustainable that worldwide martial law and removal and replacement of all governments would be necessary with no other answer. All of the satanic sites that most don't believe are satanic, or just aren't aware that they are, have to be taken out, but haven't been. The guidestones, yes, and most had no idea what they even were, so taking them out wasn't earth-shattering to the majority. But what sites would be targeted in a World War III scenario that would shake the majority to the core and paralyze them to a chair waiting to see what's next, as well as keep them more than willing to follow military directives? The White House. Oh yeah. The U.S. Capitol building. Most definitely. Major dams, 3G among the leading. Without question. Buckingham Palace, Vatican City, plenty of targets, and all of them could have been hit one at a time on staggered dates and called acts by hostile regions prompting retaliatory strikes, etc., individually over the last couple of years. But that didn't happen. Why not? I mean, it did look like the WH were trying to wrap most of this up prior to the public transition, right? Why Israel last? And if the events like the MSM being taken over, etc., are not happening in real time, then why the reports from friends hanging out in bomb shelters feeling the explosions now? Think about it. Of all the places we've seen and heard about with accounts of earthquakes exactly 10 kilometers apart, and seen what appear to be random hostile acts over the last 2 years, Israel has been generally, and unusually, quiet. Yet, we know the longest tunnel used for gold storage ran between Israel and the Vatican. Our complacency with awaiting this as our normal because of the duration never changed what the outcome was always going to produce. People need a damn good reason to believe that what's about to happen isn't a choice, but a need. Not one they're told about. One they need. And can see. And can feel. And they are. Welcome to the final curtain. Saturday 7th of October. Rubik's Q on Telegram, Gabby, July 8th assassination of Shinzo Abe, March 8th. Mar-a-Lago is searched by the FBI, September 8th Queen Elizabeth dies, October 8th Crimean Bridge collapse. November 8th Rothschild dies, December 8th Twitter file drop, 2023, January 8th, riots at the Brazilian national capital, February 8th, Twitter Oversight Committee releases election censorship files, March 8th, Georgia Capitol riots, April 8th, BlackRock protests end in France. May 8th. China announces gold-backed currency, June 8th, President Trump indicted, July 8th, collapse of Dutch government, August 8th Maui fire, September 8th, Hong Kong floods, stock exchanges suspended, October 8th, Iraq RV and Tier 4B notification. When Tony says the world will see RV on Sunday, he is referring to the official implementation of the dinar rate. Iraqis do not have to go and do exchanges like the rest of the world because the dinar is their national currency. What they will have as a benefit is that it will have more value than it had until now. So, once the new rate is established and it becomes international, it can be considered a good time to do the RV, as long as everything that needed to be done is done. So we'll see what happens starting Monday. You read October, all the ships are sailing in the same direction now, about to arrive at their common destination in the month of Red October. Buckle thyself up and gird thy loins in proper fashion. It's going to be biblical. The hunters become the hunted. Durham revelations. Trump raid. Seth Rich. Ukraine biolab/Nazis. Nor pipeline sabotage. Maxwell's international sex trafficking ring. Financial crisis. Biden crime family investigation. Iran deal shenanigans. Fentanyl drug smuggling. Open border crisis. 9/11 revelations. Massive election fraud being facilitated by foreign-controlled EMS run by CCP agents. Trump and his team doing even more openly public blatant endorsements of the Q community.